Hello, I'm Midge Penal, and today I bring you another video. Today we are doing Rampagers and a Krootox. Now, there's not much to kitbashing. I'm building these pretty much standard. Only difference is I'm adding on weapons and head swaps. That's pretty much it. Painting is more intriguing than anything. Alright, let's get into it. And if you do enjoy, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, check out my Discord down below. Starting this kitbash, I say kitbash, more building with minor adjustments. I am building 3 Rampagers and a Krootox. The reason I'm doing this specifically is because the models are, well, they're technically the same species in the Kroot. So I thought making them 2 separate videos would be a bit excessive. So I put them together. I will be doing the, what's it called? Here's it. What is his name? Calamander. I'll be doing the Calamander hopefully next week, I think, or this week. I don't know when this comes out. If it isn't obvious, I've been extremely busy off camera. So I build these kits pretty much to instruction standards. It is nothing crazy. The only area where I get like any changes is one of the Kroot Rampagers gets a Krootox head, the wide one, as a sort of representation of a more adolescent or an older one of the Krootox. So you got 2 juvenile, a like teenager, and then an adult. That's how I like to put it. That's how I'm going to go with it. So this one here I'm working on now is the adult. Well, no. Sorry. This one here is a teenager. Bigger head. It's in the development process of getting larger and more bulky to then transition from Rampager to Krootox and become a leader or something. I don't know what, but yeah. That's my little lore for this character specifically. Would that work canon-wise? I would assume it would. There's going to be like variations. It can't be just a Rampager is suddenly now no longer a Rampager. So I like this teen situation. So yeah, all my Rampagers are getting the. Let's take a go. Has 3. Where are the Rampagers? Here we go. Hunting blades, yes. All the Kroot get a hunting blades, but as you can see, they do get some additions, like the standardized spears. The other 2 get spears and rifles on their backs, and the sergeant, which is on, I believe, the teen, gets the Gatling cannon. Now, will they be used? No. Well, the spears might, but the actual rifles and Gatling cannon probably will not be. Now, here we are in the Krootox. You will notice that all the heads of the Rampager riders are either wearing like goggles or something. I see the Krootox and the Rampagers as, well, as their descriptions, they are high-speed units. They're designed to go in, cause damage, and get out. With the Krootox being the heavy, well, the backliner pretty much. Sits at a bit of a distance and fires and soaks up as much damage as possible before retreating. Well, that's how I'm going to use it more so. So all the riders on the Rampagers and this Krootox get the like hooded heads, so they have somewhat protection from like the wind in their face. I still think Kroot should be susceptible to nature, so therefore wind is a factor. And since they're in a desert world, dust is very much so a factor. So getting the dust in the face is not a great thing to happen, so I think this is a good way of going around it. It's realistic, makes sense, sort of makes them Mad Maxy, but that's fine with me. And then here we go. Though you do notice the Sergeant does not have a proper mask. The Krootox rider doesn't have a proper mask, and the Sergeant doesn't have a proper mask, because the Sergeant has a one eye, and the Krootox guy has a gas mask situation. The reason is the gas mask is more along the lines of that this Krootox is older, so it knows what to do, it's more experienced and understands its rider, so it's, yeah. It makes sense in my head. Let's get into painting. Model Air Dark Earth. I use this as a base coat for the base and the undersides of the bodies. As I want to do a two-tone transition, I want to have their bellies light, their backs dark. So I'm going to batch paint them all. Model Air US Desert Sand. I use this to lighten up the bellies and give a bit more variation in tone. Now I do it to all of them because I like them to look cohesive and part of a unit. Because why should a Krootox be drastically different coloured than its younger counterparts? Realistically, the only thing that should change is the saturation of the colours. And plus, it sort of fits in quite well for this. Model Air Ivory. I use this to brighten up the bellies even further and give it a slight yellow tinge. And I do reuse this colour again later on for their beaks and claws. Citadel Base Dryad Bark Army Painter Matte Black. I use this mix to make a very nice dark brown to go over the tops, to then give it that hard contrast line. I let it overspill on purpose, as I like that more natural gradient into it, and it adds a little bit more interest to the models, I think. But I'll come in later with a Citadel Base Dryad Bark as a light, as sort of a basic highlight to add a bit more skin tone-ish. Well, a bit more, yeah, just a bit more difference in the skin tone, so it's not all dark and adds variation. Model Air Dark Earth. I use this again for the quills from the Rampagers, Krootox and the Kroot, as well as all their little spines. I work my way through them till they're all done. Actually, it was kind of nice to do this. It was a bit tedious because I'm not a very big fan of tedious work. Model Air US Desert Sand. I use this for the bases. And just to add some variation in tone and colour, to then come in with my next colour and fix up the bases and pretty much finish them off. Army Painter Leather Brown. I use this and attack all the leathers, as I want these a bit more worn and dried, like they've been used on more than just one. Krootox. So it's like they're passed down or given over to other Krootox before they're given their proper saddles and stuff. Basically, the Rampagers share armor where the Krootox get customized armor, but it's still worn due to use. And it adds a little bit of color. Model Air US Yellow Earth. I use this to finish off the desert themed bases. And let it dust over the hands and feet. I apologize for being out of frame. Citadel Base Lead Belcher. I use this for all the metal parts of the model. The blade, the spears, the knuckle busters, I'm calling them. Bits of metal on the armors and straps. The barrels. Model Air Ivory. I use this for the beaks and mouth areas of the Krootox, Rampagers, and Kroot. Citadel Base Grey Knight Steel. I tried this very, very lightly over the metal parts of the weapons to give them a slight edge of a light blue silver or grey. Citadel Base Dryad Bark Army Painter Matte Black. I make a slightly darker version of the paint I use for the body and go over the shoulder pad with that just to kind of keep it in with the theme of the colours. Model Color White Glaze. I use this for the eyes of the Krootox, Rampagers, and Kroot. And the rifles. Or anything that's supposed to be Tau gear. I do many layers to get a nice clean, well, cleanest I can color. Citadel Base Corn Red. I go over all the Tau bits of my standardized rifle pattern and try and match the Tau armor I use, or Tau recipe for painting Tau armor. I don't know what that meant. It's just white with red, and then use the same corn red to mark up the shoulder pads for the necks. Army Painter Dragon Red. I use this as a red highlight, targeting the highest edges of the paintwork. This is to kind of help push the saturation of the red, make it look nicer. Army Painter Flesh Wash. I put this over the gun barrels, realizing it's not going to be work as well as I thought it was, so I do change that for a Flesh Wash mix. But I put it all over the weapon, over the barrels. Just to sort of dull it down, make it look a bit rusty and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. Army Painter Flesh Wash. Army Painter Greedy Gold. I haven't used this color in a while. Mix together and use it for the casings of the Kroot rifle and on his extra ammo on his back. These are special rounds. I'm going to say they're probably armor piercing or hide piercing, like deep penetrating rounds. I don't know if that's you can't really play it like that, but that's how my headcanon. Game color moon yellow. I use a toothpick and dot the eyes. Well, if they have exposed eyes, yes, they get dots, which is all the rampagers and Krootox. And the sergeant and thingo. What do you call it? Krootox rider. Citadel layer techless blue. I use this on the sergeant's shoulder pad, just give him some blue lines. I do come back in with a silver and fix them up. It's just to kind of add an extra marker to distinct him from other squad leaders. Nothing crazy. Citadel contrast, Frostheart. That is just for the lenses, and that's pretty much it finished. If you have enjoyed, please consider liking, subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. And check out my Discord down below. I hope to see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.